Hi everybody, my name's Jamie, and today I want to talk about some good news. It's always nice to get some good news at the start of the year, particularly if it's on one of your favourite games, so let's really jump into it. This is about Assassin's Creed Valhalla and a report from Game Rant that showed that Ubisoft have basically confirmed that Transmog is coming to the game, but they haven't confirmed when. So it all came out of a Reddit post in which the Redditor by the name of Bemuddle asked Ubisoft support about the missing feature. They then responded to Bemuddle by email and said that they can't actually provide a firm release date, but they do know that fans want it. They actually apologised because they know that players are really into that feature in other games, so that's quite encouraging news. One of the key differences between AC Valhalla and AC Odyssey is the gear system. AC Valhalla's is a simplified version, though I'd argue it's still pretty complex. I wouldn't say that having a complex gear system is bad though, it's just another system to learn on top of an already complex game. I guess that Ubisoft deemed it too inaccessible for the mass market of players, and that's why they toned it down a little for AC Valhalla. The thing about Transmog in previous games like AC Odyssey is that it was a post-launch feature. I don't think anyone was expecting it to come with AC Valhalla at launch, but I do think that a lot of people were expecting it to be high on the priority list over at Ubisoft's offices. So let's make sure we're all on the same page with this. What is Transmog? Transmog is short for transmogrification. It's a feature that's become more and more commonplace in MMOs like Destiny 2, but now it's bleeding through to RPGs, or at the very least games as a service, which AC Origins and AC Odyssey definitely were. The feature allows you to change the appearance of any piece of armor and sometimes your weapons. While the appearances of them will change, the stats on those basic weapons or pieces of armor are going to be exactly the same because you've transmogged the appearance of them, not their stats. For example, the Hunter armor set in AC Valhalla has a perk that's only active when you're wearing all 5 pieces of armor, as do all the armor sets, I'm now realizing. If you remove one piece of that armor, you lose the buff. But with Transmog, you'd be able to change the appearance of that set to a different one, say the Berserker armor set, but retain the stats of the Hunter armor set and all the runes and, all the levels you've upgraded that Hunter armor through. And if you prefer using it, it means you still get to keep using it, it just looks different. It's easy to see why this feature wouldn't be in AC Valhalla at launch. Effectively, the developers have to either build a whole system for changing the appearance of every piece of armor, or they have to create different versions of every piece of armor for the stats that players might or might not have underneath them while using Transmog. It's a massively complex system in a game where each item probably has to be defined as its own unique object. In terms of coding, I think you're looking at an entire database for each item, and maybe even multiple databases per item. I didn't think that news of the AC Valhalla Transmog system would be enough for a full video, so now I'm going to smoothly transition into some other interesting news about another Ubisoft game. This is about Immortals Fenyx Rising, something that I've been getting into recently, and I really, really love it. The game only launched on December 3rd, 2020, but it's going to have 3 big pieces of DLC before the middle of 2021, actually before May 2021. The DLC was previously showcased in a Season Pass trailer, but we didn't have any release dates for each piece until this week. I'm going to go through each one in what I believe is the vaguely correct order and tell you a bit about them as well. The first DLC is called A New God, and it's set to launch on January 21st. The DLC takes place after the events of the main game and sees Fenyx head to Olympus, which is where the Greek gods live. There, Fenyx is going to take on some new challenges, and the results of those challenges are going to impact the world below and the Greek pantheon. I'm quite excited to see if we get to make lasting choices with this DLC, but we'll just have to see where it goes. If those choices impact future DLC or the main game, that would be incredible. The second DLC is called The Lost Gods, and it has a release date of February 25th, so not even really a month between these two. In this one, players take on the role of a new hero called Ash. As Ash, players will follow the story and they'll get close to Fenyx, the original protagonist of the main game, but the main goal here is to find some new gods and bring them to the world so that the evilness can be balanced out. The DLC is pretty interesting because it's got a new camera angle, an isometric one. On top of that, players apparently get to progress in a new way that suits their playstyle. So from the sounds of it, this DLC is for the isometric RPG fans, people who enjoyed Baldur's Gate and Divinity Original Sin 2. The ones who want to craft their own sort of character who's more skilled in one area than they are in another. And that means the gameplay is going to be more open to be played in different ways. It's quite an interesting thing to look at because the main game of Immortals Fenyx Rising is very tailored to the skills that Fenyx has and that you can develop over the course of the game. I like that Ubisoft is differentiating the gameplay in the Immortals series already. I think it will lay the groundwork for something that could become as big as Assassin's Creed one day. Obviously that's Ubisoft's plan, but it remains to be seen since the game's already 30% discounted and it's not even been out a month. Well, it's been out about a month now. Finally, we have Myths of the Eastern Realm launching on March 1st. This DLC will put you into the shoes of yet another new character, Q. The story sees you travel to a new world within the Immortals universe, and this one's based on Chinese mythology. The story, from what I can tell, is based on a founding myth from Chinese mythology and introduces you to a bunch of new characters and new gods as well. I've only just got into Immortals Fenyx Rising, like I was saying, but at the moment I'm steamrolling the story, I'm having a great time, and I'm going to be playing all of this DLC as it comes out. It's a big task for any new player, but the game's discounted right now, like I said, so I think it's worth it. One more thing I do want to note about this game that's really interesting, and actually all of Ubisoft's games since the Xbox Series S and X and PS5 came out, Ubisoft Connect allows you to take your progress from any platform and use it on all the others as long as you enable that service on your console. So I've got it on my PS5, my Xbox Series X, and my Nintendo Switch. I'm playing Immortals Fenyx Rising on the Switch, and like many people, because it's so cheap, I bought it for PS5 as well, and I can take my progress and play it wherever I want. At the moment I'm playing it all on Switch. I will be taking it over to the PS5 to get trophies, but also to get nice screenshots, nice capture, and just to enjoy it in a really good looking way. But I could also get it on Xbox and play it there too. I've been playing Rainbow Six Siege, and my progress between Xbox and PlayStation is seamlessly linked. I've got, Hyperscape, the same thing. It's crazy. And Assassin's Creed Valhalla, of course, between, the two consoles. Seamless. It's really cool, and so few games have it. And I think since Immortals Fenyx Rising and actually Assassin's Creed Valhalla are both discounted right now, take your Christmas money, buy one of them on a platform, doesn't matter which, even if it's a platform you don't play that much, and then you can take that and play it on another platform. If you have a PS4 now, you can buy an Xbox Series X and play it on that. It doesn't matter what you're doing, what you're playing it on, you can take it wherever you want to play. Sorry, I just think it's such a cool feature, and I'm really thankful it exists. Maybe I'll do a full video on like how good it is compared to what other companies offer, because other companies are really scamming you on the price and stuff like that. But anyway, to round it all out, Transmog's on the way for AC Valhalla. Very excited about that. Immortals Fenyx Rising DLC is crazy. So by my birthday, which is in May, there'll be 3 pieces of DLC out. In fact, one every month for now. I don't know what else they're going to be doing, from March. This is the season pass. Like, do they have another season pass planned? Who knows? We'll have to find out. Anyway, I've gotten far too excited and gone off script now, so I'll go back to script. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll include all my sources in the description as usual. Just let me know what you want me to cover in the comments. I've got some plans for other games, like I said. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.
Strategy or something?
Look at me. I can't hold a sword. One back on the battlefield and I'm a laughing stock. Even my love, Aphrodite, rejected me the moment she saw me.